first officer on the scene of the incident was there within 78 seconds.
A list of targets and letters left behind. Tonight, authorities are revealing more about the gunman who shot and killed 3 faculty members at UNLV. Investigators say Anthony Polito, a longtime business professor, had a list of targets at 2 college campuses, including UNLV. Good evening. Welcome to West Coast Wrap. I'm Alex Savage. We are learning more tonight about the victims who died in this shooting. 64-year-old Cha Jane Chang was a business professor at UNLV. 39-year-old Patricia Navarro Velez was an assistant professor of accounting. Authorities have not released the identity of the 3rd victim who died. Fox's Sunny Sai has the latest on this tragedy from Las Vegas.
A specific motive hasn't been cited, but the Las Vegas police say the 67-year-old suspect had applied numerous times to jobs in Nevada higher education institutions and was denied each time. UNLV remains closed today and tomorrow. In fact, all school activities are canceled through this Sunday, December 10th. Shortly before noon yesterday, Las Vegas police received a call that somebody was shooting on the UNLV campus. The suspect went to multiple floors of Beam Hall before 2 university police detectives shot him dead outside the building.
The collective response and the actions of our initially responding officers no doubt saved lives. The original call received by University Police was 11:44. The first officer on the scene of the incident was there within 78 seconds.
Las Vegas police say there was a student gathering outside Beam Hall at the time of the shooting and that the university police potentially saved many lives. A family reunification and assistance center has been set up at the Las Vegas Convention Center to provide mental health support and other services. In Las Vegas, Sunny Sai, Fox News.
There are renewed calls tonight for Congress to take action on gun control after the shooting in Las Vegas and another in Texas this week. The day before the rampage at UNLV, authorities say a gunman in Texas killed 6 people, including his parents. The United States Conference of Mayors has now issued a statement urging Congress to take action against gun violence. Lawmakers, though, remain divided on the issue.
Democrats' ban on assault weapons is an assault on lawful gun owners.
This is a moral imperative, not just a political obligation. It is a moral duty for this country to stop gun violence.
The shooting in Texas marked the 39th mass shooting in the U.S. in which at least 4 people were killed this year. That is 3 more than the country's record in 2022. We turn now to the strong storms that have hit the Pacific Northwest, and the body of someone swept away by rushing water in the Portland area has been recovered. Bystanders saw the man fall into Johnson Creek on Monday. Another body has been recovered from the nearby Bronson Creek. That victim was entangled in tree branches. Neither of the victims has been identified. New satellite images show how strong storms developed in the Pacific and made their way toward Oregon and Washington this week. Fox Weather's Max Gordon is north of Seattle tonight, where some are beginning to see the high water recede.
Here in the community of Stanwood, they were hit hard by this flooding event, but the good news is that water levels are now going down. They've receded about 3 to 4 feet just over the past day, but as you can see right here, well, there's still plenty of water left over. Officials say that this water could linger for the next couple of days. Fields turned into, well, essentially inland oceans at this point. But I want to show you something interesting here that the city of Stanwood did. They constructed this berm, essentially just taking dirt and piling it over this road here to prevent the floodwaters from getting into the town, and it appears that it worked. You can actually see the water line from the floodwaters just get about a foot or so onto that berm, so some good news there. Here's what some parts of Stanwood looked like on Wednesday. You can see homes here surrounded by water, cars and trucks submerged. Sheriff's officials we've talked to here say that Wednesday was a busy day with rescues as the water flooded in. The cleanup remains ongoing in other communities like Savannah, Washington. The Stillaguamish River, which runs nearby, crested Tuesday at major flood stage, setting a new record for the area. During the height of this flooding, the town was only reachable by boat. Driveways and roads eroded away because of the powerful rushing water. Some people had to pump their basements out after they flooded with stormwater, and businesses were forced to close so employees could wash out silt and debris.
I mean, I knew it flooded around here, but not like this. the record, it was not a good time.
Well, my car kind of got sunk. It was too low in the ground, I guess. It's a green one back there, and the water went all, it was up over the hood.
Officials are warning folks to be careful when they return to flooded out homes and businesses. It's important they turn the power off so they don't get electrocuted. Watch out for any leaks with gas pipes or sewage lines, and that they make sure that the water is still drinkable. In Stanwood, Washington, Max Gordon, Fox Weather.
In Port Orchard, Washington, flooding caused major damage at a food bank, destroying 20,000 pounds of food. Staff members at South Kitsap Helpline say a foot of water flooded the food bank's basement, causing them to lose items like rice, pasta, and more. All of it just too soggy to be given to those in need.
We're going to kind of go heavy on some of the canned goods that we have. We're hoping we get some things through donations, but yeah, it could mean our groceries are a little thinner than they normally are, which we hope that's not the case.
The nonprofit says it serves about 400 families a week, and December is already a busy time of year with many in need during the holidays. And the next threat for Oregon and Washington is snow. Live pictures tonight from Mount Hood, where about 11 inches have fallen in the last 24 hours. Coming up in this newscast, KTVU meteorologist Mark Tamayo will look at the concerns about snowmelt potentially leading to more severe flooding. The former chief of a Southern California police department must report to prison next month for his role in the January 6th riot at the U.S. Capitol. Today, a judge sentenced Alan Hostetter to 11 years. Hostetter was convicted in July of several charges, including conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding. Prosecutors say he used Telegram and an encrypted messaging app to coordinate efforts to halt certification of the 2020 presidential election results. That coordination happened during a road trip to the U.S. Capitol before the riot. Hostetter was chief of the La Habra Police Department between 2009 and 2010. Co-defendants in his case are awaiting sentencing. The so-called doomsday mom pleaded not guilty in the deaths of her fourth husband and a relative. Lori Vallow was in a Phoenix courtroom today answering to those charges. Her ex-husband and niece's ex-husband were killed within months of each other in 2019. Vallow has already been convicted in Idaho of killing two of her children, whom she claimed were zombies. A federal grand jury filed an indictment today against two Russian nationals in an investigation into hacking crimes here in the U.S. and overseas. The FBI released images of the two suspects believed to be part of a hacker group known as Callisto. The FBI thinks these two men are now in Russia. The State Department is offering up to $10 million for information on the suspects.
Andrei Stanislavovich Koronets, who procured infrastructure in support of Callisto Group activities, and Ruslan Alexandrovich Petrotyanko, an officer with the Russian FSB's Center 18.
Authorities say the two are part of a larger group using spear phishing techniques to get confidential information or access to a network by sending emails that appear to be from a trusted sender. Up next, a hot air balloon makes a hard landing in Arizona. Coming up tonight, what went wrong and how this emergency interrupted a birthday celebration. Plus, thieves use a car to break into a Southern California construction business. The entire thing caught on camera. Ahead tonight, what they got away with and why the business owner is frustrated with more than just these thieves.
And in weather, we're still talking about some rainfall up in the Pacific Northwest and even some rain showers for the San Francisco Bay Area, but some changes in your Friday forecast, and we'll have the update coming up.
Dramatic images from Arizona tonight where a birthday party didn't go as planned in Phoenix. A group of people celebrating on a hot air balloon experienced a rough landing, leaving some of their balloon draped over a home. All 8 passengers and the balloon's pilot are fine tonight. The pilot says he tried to land the balloon in a vacant lot next to that house because the balloon's fuel got low. On the way down, the balloon got snagged by a light pole, and that led to some scary moments for people inside the balloon's basket and on the ground.
We're all fine, thankfully, and yeah, it was a little bit scary, and our prayers were answered.
I was just sitting on my couch right there nursing my baby, and I looked out the window, and I'm used to seeing hot air balloons right outside this window, which I thought was really cool. This one was right outside. The basket was just above that light post.
Now, the only damage was to that street light, and crews are working to fix it. But again, everyone is okay tonight. The Alaska Airlines pilot accused of trying to shut down a plane's engines is expected to be back home in California by the end of the night. Fox 12's Alal Elhel walks us through what happened when he showed up in an Oregon courtroom today.
Joseph Emerson appeared here at the Justice Center to face a Multnomah County judge after a federal judge approved his release yesterday with conditions. The judge here today also approved Emerson's release under those same conditions with bail set at $50,000. The 44-year-old pilot was off duty at the time and riding in the jump seat of a flight from Everett, Washington to San Francisco back in October. But that flight had to make an emergency landing in Portland after Emerson allegedly tried to shut off the engines mid-flight. He's been in custody ever since, and on Tuesday this week, a Multnomah County grand jury indicted Emerson on 84 endangerment charges, which are lesser charges than what he was initially facing upon arrest. As of today, both a federal judge and Multnomah County judge have decided to release Emerson, but with conditions. He's prohibited from using controlled substances, must undergo a mental health evaluation, is not allowed to board any aircraft or be within 30 feet of one, and he'll also be allowed to return to his home in Pleasant Hill, California. His wife Sarah says it's a homecoming her family has been waiting on for over a month.
I'm so happy. My boys are going to be so happy to have their dad home. It's been a long time, and I'm just glad that this is happening. He deserves to be home right now. I know that it's impacted more than just Joe, you know, and I understand that there's a lot here, and you know, I hope that they would also understand the condition that my husband was in during that flight, and eventually that will all come out.
Emerson told investigators he had consumed magic mushrooms 2 days before the flight, hadn't slept in 40 hours, was dealing with depression and the recent loss of a friend. This case brought up questions of pilot mental health, which is something Emerson's wife says needs to be reevaluated and taken seriously.
I'm saddened and that this situation had to happen to my husband and to these people that it affected, but I know that this has created a movement and momentum to help thousands of other pilots and people in mental health situations, in jobs that are in a sense silenced, or it's disincentivized to go get help and care that they need. And I think it's an important message that I want to be a part of and continue to be a part of, and I know Joe would want to as well.
Emerson's attorney says his bail was posted directly after the hearing, and it is expected he will be returning home today. Reporting in downtown Portland, Amal Al-Hal, Fox 12 Oregon.
Now we head to Los Angeles, where a large group of thieves was caught on camera breaking into a business and causing quite a bit of damage. Video shows the moment thieves backed a car into the gate and then filed inside a Glassell Park construction company. This happened early Wednesday morning. The group took construction tools, studio microphones, and guitars that belonged to the business owner, Ryan Bagley. He says the burglary has left him feeling fed up with elected officials.
I voted for Karen Bass, I voted for Biden, I voted for Gavin Newsom. I'm sick of it. It's like at some point you have to give me a reason to vote for you again. Or just do our jobs, make a living, help our employees make a good living, and move on. But it's really freaking difficult to survive.
The car that was driven through that fence was reportedly stolen from an impound yard. The LAPD is investigating this break-in tonight. So far, though, no arrests have been made.
Well, in weather, of course, the main weather this week, the focus of all the intense rainfall and snowfall has been up in the Pacific Northwest. And take a look at these rainfall totals going back to December 1st. Only a few days, you can see parts of Oregon, almost 11 inches of rainfall. So that's significant rainfall. And it looks like tomorrow we will actually get a break in the shower activity. You can kind of see the satellite here, somewhat of a break developing in advance of another system that will impact the Pacific Northwest as we head into Saturday. So we still have the rain showers and the dropping snow levels to around 2,000 feet. The Bay Area had some rain showers earlier today, but all that activity is starting to dissipate. Here is the forecast model up in the Pacific Northwest as we take this into the weekend. So they've had quite a bit of some rainfall, as you know. We just talked about that. And there's more significant rain back in the forecast beginning Saturday and possibly into next week. This was the scene today in Seattle, showing you all the cloud cover. We had some rain showers, temperatures only in the 40s, right around 46 degrees. Remember, earlier in the week, they were in the mid-70s. As we take a look at San Francisco, lots of cloud cover looking out toward Golden Gate Park, out toward Ocean Beach, and some rain showers that moved on through earlier today. Temperature of 60 degrees. And in Denver, lots of sunshine, temperatures in the lower 60s. But what's interesting in Denver, they're going to have a significant change tomorrow as we bring in snow. That storm up in the Pacific Northwest approaching Colorado, and that will generate some snow showers for tomorrow in Denver. Current numbers out there, as you can see, right now it's 49 in Denver. Phoenix, 66 degrees. Reno checking in 41, and up in Seattle, temperatures in the lower 40s. So for the most part, a rain break up in the Pacific Northwest tomorrow, although there's about a 20% chance of some showers tomorrow morning. Sunny and cool for San Francisco, temperatures in the 50s. Snowfall makes a comeback out towards the Rockies, out toward Denver, and then lots of sunshine in Southern California, also approaching Phoenix as well. They'll have lots of sunshine. So here's that snow developing. As you can see, portions of Idaho drop it into Colorado. Here's somewhat of a break up in the Pacific Northwest, but this system will be the rainmaker as we head into Saturday. So as you can see here, we do bring in a couple more rain clouds for Seattle for both Saturday and Sunday. In San Francisco, a sun cloud mix over the next few days. There's that snow cloud out toward Denver, and then it looks like a mild forecast for down toward Los Angeles. And in Phoenix, they could be enjoying temperatures in the lower 70s for your Friday forecast. So I guess, Alex, the good news, a break in the Pacific Northwest in terms of the real rainfall for tomorrow, but unfortunately some more rain clouds looming on the extended forecast maps.
All right, we'll keep tracking it. Yeah. Mark, thank you. All right, on the 82nd anniversary of Japan's attack on Pearl Harbor, a small group of veterans were at the USS Arizona Memorial near Honolulu today to pay tribute to the service members who were lost that day. The Pearl Harbor attack killed roughly 2,400 Americans. Other veterans shared their wartime stories at the memorial in Washington, D.C. They urge people to learn the solemn history of World War II.
It was a terrible time for our nation, and it should be remembered that we should be prepared for those unknowns that occur.
Less than 1% of Americans who served in World War II are still alive today. World War II veterans say they hope the next generation will be ready to answer the call to serve. Many Jewish Americans are weighing what Hanukkah celebrations will look like this year amid rising tensions over the war between Israel and Hamas. Many Jewish families are putting their faith on full display this year, but some are pulling back on the holiday decor over safety concerns. According to the Anti-Defamation League, reports of anti-Semitism in the U.S. were up nearly 400% in the weeks since the October 7th attack on Israel by Hamas. In the Bay Area, Rabbi Aaron Cunin from the Shabbat of South San Jose says this year's holiday holds special significance given those threats.
We have to be proud that we're Jewish. Many times throughout history, people have tried to destroy the Jewish people, and thank God we've always prevailed, and we will prevail again this time as well.
Many in the Jewish community are leaning into their beliefs this Hanukkah season and praying for peace in the Middle East. The 8-day celebration of Hanukkah began at sundown tonight. Coming up on West Coast Wrap, how work crews in Southern California used their own strength to bring down a huge boulder. Plus, some special four-legged guests in the audience for a holiday performance of the Nutcracker. Why this night out is important training for these dogs. In Southern California's high desert, some new video released just today shows these two road workers dislodging a loose boulder in Palmdale, north of Los Angeles. Caltrans says the men, who were secured by harnesses here, used their legs to push that large boulder down a hillside and onto a road in the Angeles National Forest. Parts of the roadway are still closed after severe storms last winter caused extensive damage all throughout California. And that is one way to get the job done right there. Cal State University faculty members took their series of one-day strikes to Sacramento today. Those faculty members picketed on the Sacramento State University campus, calling for 12% pay raises. They also want parental leave benefits increased from 6 weeks to a full semester.
We're fighting for rights, respect, and justice, right? And our contract and what we're fighting for is around many different issues, primarily salary. We're asking for a 12% to just keep up with inflation.
The California State University system says it has offered a 15% raise over 3 years to those faculty members. There have been similar strikes that have happened on 3 other Cal State campuses earlier on this week. President Biden is setting aside another $4.8 billion of student debt relief. The White House yesterday announced it plans to divvy up those funds between about 80,000 borrowers in this country. The Biden administration has already forgiven about $132 billion in loans for 3.6 million Americans. Secretary of Education Miguel Cardona says the administration is fixing the, quote, broken student loan system and will continue to provide relief to even more borrowers in the future. People training service dogs in Oregon have come up with a way to work and celebrate the holidays at the same time. Fox 12's Chandler Watkins shows us how a night at the ballet makes all of this happen.
Here at Keller Auditorium, the Oregon Ballet Theater held its dress rehearsal for the Nutcracker Wednesday evening. Among those in attendance, local area guide dogs for the blind.
We've been taking the dogs to show. Our responsibility as volunteers is just to get these puppies ready to be out in the world with people.
And Wednesday night was the perfect opportunity to do just that.
We've invited some special guests, some partners that we have, including Guide Dogs for the Blind and Columbia Regional Inclusive Services and some of our other school partners. We've also included audio descriptions as being part of the performance.
Right now the overture is playing as we see a rich red holiday curtain covering the stage.
The Oregon Ballet Theater has been providing audio descriptions since 2012 and has continued to increase inclusivity.
We've been doing touch tours the last few years, and that is a way for people to interact with production elements of the ballet. We also have our first sensory-friendly performance this year. We're really excited about that. That's going to be happening December 19th.
Let's go! As the audience made their way to their seats, Judy Wilson says it's important for guide dogs in training, like Mariposa, to get this type of exposure to allow them to help their future handlers.
It's just getting people to be able to be where they need and want to be, not just to get to work and back, but also to enjoy life accessibly without any impairments or limitations.
Reporting in downtown Portland, Chandler Watkins, Fox 12 Oregon.
And a special night out for those pups. Guide Dogs for the Blind has been working in the Portland area since 1942. That does it for West Coast Wrap tonight. We appreciate you watching. You can stay up to date on all the stories we're covering across the West Coast. Just head to our website. It's westcoastwrap.com, and you can stream all of our shows on your smart TV. All you have to do is download the Fox Local app. Have a great night. We'll see you back here tomorrow night.